This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart. Woo.
We are drinking coffee. We are having a morning pod. For you guys listening, not watching, can't see. I feel like I jumped the gun because we reunited in the back house 2 weeks ago. I was like, we're back, baby. And then I go to Palm Springs and now I'm also not home again. I feel like I really jumped the gun.
I got such a brain cock tease of the back house and was like, oh, this is cozy and familiar. And then it got ripped away from me again.
Ripped away. I'm so sorry. Well, we won't have a podcast next week and then we'll be back in business in 2023. But I was just like, man, I'm a liar. No, it really felt like we were reuniting as a couple, and then I was like, actually, we're long distance again.
We got a little taste of it, which makes me hungry for next year, being back in there.
A dirty little dungeon.
Do you want to explain why?
Why I'm not there. I'm kidnapped. No.
In a very cute little room there.
I got napped, but I was like, I still gotta do my podcast, you guys. Yeah. It's 4 years running. I came down to Fort Worth. I always say Dallas, but it's like it's right beside each other.
Right, because the airport's Dallas, Fort Worth.
Thank you.
There you go.
Anyway, I didn't want the Fort Worth people to be like, why are we worthless? Why do you always say Dallas? But I came down for one night to surprise my dad. I orchestrated it with my stepmom. And now I'm flying back today, but I needed to come down. I needed to spend a ticket by the end of the year for Delta. Yeah. And so I was just like, well, I feel like being cozy at home because we've got a brand new little fish stick named Larry. Yeah. I feel like being cozy. What's the best thing to do? Oh, look like daughter of the year and surprise him for one night.
Did it work? Because surprises are so fun in theory, and then when you actually have to do it, there's so many variables.
Well, there's lots of variables because since it's the week of Christmas, I was like, oh, I need to go on Monday. We were just talking before we started this podcast of the airport was already crazy on Monday morning. So I was like, I got to do it on Monday. But my dad and Ann have a very set routine. Yeah. Yeah. And they live 30 minutes from here. So it was orchestrating getting her to be like, let's go have dinner on a Monday without being like, What's up?
You? What's up? I know. Yeah. I was thinking about Elliot and I are such homebodies that if he were like, no, let's just go out to dinner on a Monday night 30 minutes away from our house for some, specific but whatever reason, I would be like, no, I want to get high and watch Lego Masters. So no, I don't
totally.
Go.
So a lot of that, grunt work was on my stepmom, but she did it flawlessly. Oh, she said she needed to run errands in this area, and then she laid the groundwork where she was like, and I'm craving sushi. and then she was like, I never crave sushi. So already it was like ding ding ding. Yeah. And then I get here, and of course, right at the tip of my fingertips, there's a thing called a phone with a weather app. Yes, and Google. Yes. But I came here not looking at it once. Went Texas, hot,
obviously.
No. It's freezing. This state freezes.
Oh, shit.
So I show up in just this one sweatshirt that makes me look like that picture of The Rock. And a jumpsuit. So I'm wearing a sweatshirt over a jumpsuit. So she's like, oh, babe, I'll get you a coat. So she also had to factor in, oh, David, I need to buy a jacket.
So this is such a specific, harmless lies and cover-ups.
Yeah, it was very sweet. So I Ubered down. I landed here. I checked into the hotel and chilled for a little bit. And then I Ubered over. And then it was we both got there the exact same time. And I didn't realize it was a restaurant that's attached to a mall. Yeah. So there's lots of stores and so lots of crevices. Yeah. So I was like, I'm in my Uber and I see the restaurant and it's getting close and she's like, we just got off the exit. And I'm like, well, I kind of just got off the exit. And so we're pulling into, and meanwhile, I'm like, does dad think you're cheating on him? You're just.
Yeah, exactly. That not only has she been like, let's go out and I want sushi and I need a coat. I'm going to be on my phone this whole time. You just take me to do these things.
It might have been even weirder because I think she at one point I texted her early and I was like, woohoo, I landed. And she was like, oh my God, I had my phone plugged into the car. My texts were popping up like your dad. It almost blew the cover. So I'm on edge, right? Yeah. And so I see the restaurant. I hear she's near, and I was just like, "You can just drop me off here." And I basically tuck and roll into an Anthropologie.
Nice.
like it's nighttime, and I'm wearing huge sunglasses and this turtleneck, and I'm like.
It's great because that's a store your dad won't just glance into to see what they have.
Right. And so I text her, I'm like, I'm hiding out in Anthropologie. She goes, I freaked out and took him to Ann Taylor. So we're both just like in stores.
He's like, meanwhile, your dad's like, my wife is losing her mind. I don't know what's going on.
What is happening? So it was great though. She texted me when they got set up and they were on like the patio, and I was like, get his back to the door. Couldn't do it. So I walk in, and I think I told you, like, my dad, he had the health scare over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, just get his back to the door. So not only has she been like, let's do a lap in Ann Taylor. Now you sit with your back
David,
to
you
the
sit
door.
there. You sit there. She was like, I couldn't do it. We're both facing the door. So I walk in. My dad has to like limit his liquid intake because he had like a low sodium scare kind of thing. Yeah. So I just round the corner in sunglasses, just fully The Rock. And I see him. I just whip off my glasses and I go, sir, that's a lot of iced tea. Something like that. My dad's such a character. He's wearing like not a cowboy hat, but like some kind of hat. He takes both hands and just throws it in the air. Like it shoots off his head.
Apple doesn't fall far.
No, so it was great. We they rarely drink, but we were just hanging out, and my dad has margaritas and we're hanging, and then we even were like, let's go to a wine bar. And so I just hung out with them all night and came back here and was immediately just like passed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I did I'll grab a nightcap from the bar. Didn't drink a sip of it. Like
I see it literally in the back corner.
Yeah, the wine. I mean, I don't leave wine.
No, you
don't. And I was like, oh, I'm out. I've been up since 6:30. Yeah. My body's still doing the thing where I wake up every 30 minutes if I have an early flight.
Oh, yeah. Like,
remember when we could just oversleep and miss our flight? Gone are the days.
Gone are the days. I woke up, every 15 minutes starting at 6:30, knowing that we just had to podcast this morning. I was like, wow, I have a sensitive timeline in my body now.
Oh my gosh. But it was really lovely. Thank you. And flying back. But it was so funny. I remember I'd forgotten that Anne had mentioned this to me, and my stepmom, for those listening who don't know. Mm-hmm. And she is a minister, reverend, preacher, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's a specific one based on her education. Yeah. Her master's in divinity. But so she runs a church here. Yeah. She is the head of a church. And she came out to LA when we were in North Carolina this past trip.
Right. Yeah. Yes, and you said that the cleaner left lube directly on the side.
Yes, the lube table, as you might remember from podcast last week or the week before.
Something about that in the Bible. Who knows?
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Lube you up for Jesus. You got to lube your heart. But so she's so funny. We're talking, and I'd forgotten she had mentioned this, that she was there and she was like, I had a nice time in your neighborhood. I went to a restaurant, was having a good time. And I came back to your house and I was like, I'm just craving a little something sweet. Yeah. Right. And so she's looking around. She finds a chocolate bar in her fridge, and she's like, and it's a delicious, spiced. Oh, it's one of those that's hot and chili.
Oh, okay. I was
going to say, chocolate?
What kind of chocolate bar was this that she
she didn't realize till after 2 squares that it was a THC chocolate bar. We're talking a woman who probably smoked weed in 82. And she goes...
She has 20 milligrams of...
I think she looked and it was 10. She took 10. But still, I take 5 and I'm a silly goose. I have no tolerance. Yeah. She hasn't... I don't know... I feel like she's never been a weed smoker, but also that was probably 40 years ago.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she goes, and then I'd eaten some, and then I was like, that was delicious. I'm going to go get another square. And then it was after finishing the second square that I was like, THC infused. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I should have warned you. I forgot that chocolate bar was in my butter / eye mask / weed drawer. in my fridge.
Your self-help drawer.
Yes.
Self-care drawer.
Anyway, she was like, I had the best night.
That's great. She's like,
I would have had a panic attack. Yeah, she was like, I watched Schitt's Creek and I laughed so hard. And she was like, and I've slept better than I have in years.
Yeah, there
and
you go.
I was like, Texas, get on it.
See?
Our preachers need to sleep.
Oh, man. I mean, how long was she actually at your house to see the lube on the side table, to partake in some chocolate marijuana?
3 nights.
She got the full experience.
The full Mamrie chip experience. So I forgot that happened. And I was just like, man, I'm so glad that turned out not only okay, but fantastic for you.
Yeah. I mean, you can ship them out there if she needs them.
I mean, we would never say that on a podcast, but yeah.
No, not here.
Texas, quit listening to us. Oh, man.
If you're a fan of it, sushi is incredible, but gas station sushi, not so much. Finding the right sushi makes all the difference, and the same goes for finding the right doctor. With ZocDoc, you can find the right doctor for you in your network and in your neighborhood. One that makes you feel like you're in good hands, you're supported, and you're heard, even if you're telling them about your favorite sushi place. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them. There is no more wasting time calling around, seeing if they take your insurance. You just plug it into the app and blap, blap. You are shown appointments as early as the next day, whether you're trying to get those teeth straight, fix an achy back, get that mole checked, or anything else. ZocDoc has it covered. Their mobile app is as easy as getting a ride to a restaurant or getting delivery to your house. You search, you find, you book the doctor with a few taps. And they've got reviews, okay? I do not book a brunch without reading a million reviews of the restaurant. And with doctors, it should be the same way. You can read verified patient reviews from real people who made real appointments. And now, when you walk into the doctor's office, you're all set to see someone in your network who gets you. I love ZocDoc. I talk about it incessantly. I've used it for pap smears. I've used it for teeth cleaning. I've used it to get a cavity filled. I've used it to test my allergies. I absolutely adore this app, and you're going to too. So go to ZocDoc.com/weird and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for the top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. In my case, I booked a tooth appointment within 12. That's ZocDoc.com/weird. ZocDoc.com/weird. You guys, new year, new you. Get yourself checked out.
Today we have support from Athletic Greens, or AG1, which has truly been supporting me. I started taking AG1 almost every day because you guys know I struggle with gut health. I obviously wanted more energy, and I wanted just an easy way to consume nutrients all at once. And AG1 is all of that and more. It's the best option for easy, optimal nutrition out there. You take 1 scoop of AG1 and you're absorbing, get this, 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. I'm literally drinking it right now. Listen to this. It's delicious. It's got this like citrusy taste. It looks very green. I wake up, I mix a packet in a little bit of water and I drink it, and it's delicious. And now my body craves the flavor every morning, and my body thanks me for actually putting some good stuff into it. This blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All of the things that I could use to support. Does it help with talking? Hopefully. Sustainable routines are key. AG1 is a daily micro habit that makes it easy to absorb key nutrients, lead a healthy lifestyle, and feel your best no matter what the day holds. Just 1 scoop, 1 minute, once a day, every day, and you're golden. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/TMGW. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/TMGW to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
But you're about to go have some family time.
Yeah, speaking of cold, I talked to my mom yesterday, and she's like, "You better tell that Florida boy to bring some long underwear." I'm not kidding.
Long underwear. I haven't even thought of like long underwear and flannels in a million years.
Yeah, she must have said thermals and long underwear like 7 times on a 15-minute call. I was like, I got it, Mom. Are we going to be left outside over Christmas? I think we're going to be inside. She's like,
my God, bring him inside. Bring him inside.
It's cold. Yeah, we're leaving on Thursday. We're doing the whole Jersey to Florida back to California. So resting up before we go. Oh, I was going to say, talking about the lost podcast nook that we recorded in the back house.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
I know, but this past weekend.
Yes.
Elliot just posted a photo yesterday of him sitting back there because he hasn't like really seen the back house where we record before. I think he saw it once during the wrestling party years ago, but you had like a photo booth set up in there.
Oh yeah, I had like a backdrop.
Yeah, so he's never and when we've come over before, we're not sitting in the backyard.
He'll be like, "Hey, can we go see the laundry room?"
Yeah, so I was like, "Do you want to see it?" I was like, "Mamrie cleaned it and it's all like organized and nice." And he was like, "Yeah, this is like the first time I'm like really seeing it."
Wow,
like, cool. Welcome.
It's like visiting the Friends set.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
There you go. It's smaller than I thought. It's smaller than I thought.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Yeah, we had, again, to those listening.
Yeah.
A fun hibachi dinner. A friend back in the day, y'all might remember, Grace and I went to WrestleMania in New Orleans when This Might Get Weird was just This Might Get the web series.
Yes.
And we were like,
before.
Yeah, right before we got canceled.
Yeah.
Not canceled in,
we just got our
now.
funding sent to someone else's program and not to ours.
They said, we're not going to invest in you anymore. But we went to WrestleMania, and Grace and I, as part of the like, hey, give us free tickets and put us up in a hotel, we did like interviews that I don't ever think made it because no one really stopped to talk to us.
Well, it was terrible, as I remember.
And it was.
It was you and I being like, we can film ourselves doing it. And we brought like a point and shoot camera, no microphones. And we were in like the Wrestling Hall of Fame induction. And they're doing red carpets.
Else has
and
full
it's just,
Entertainment Tonight cruise.
Yeah, just loud noise everywhere. And just the two of us kind of standing behind reporters with microphones going, what's their name? What's that guy's name? What's her name? What's her name?
What's that guy?
They passed us. Okay. Oh, God, we'll get the next one. We just need like 2 interviews. And both of us just being so chicken shit to like put ourselves out there. And then finally,
there was a wrestler who came over, Dax, and he was like, he was going by a different name. It was like Scott Wheeler or something when he was in WWE. Now he's a big AEW star. But he was like, hey. And we were like, he's coming towards us. Like, what do we do?
What's his name? What is he? What's his tag team?
Is this actual security? And we're being asked to leave. And he came over and he was like, my wife is a fan of you guys. And so we were like, yay. And so we talked with him and his wife, and he was so lovely. And so since then, like, him and I followed each other on social media. I don't know if it was immediate or like I was like, oh, that's that guy. Like, a couple years later.
You guys had talked, and he was from North Carolina or living in North Carolina, and you were like, oh, I go to Asheville like every year.
Yes. So basically 2 years ago when I started going to North Carolina, I was like, he's Instagramming from like coffee shops and stuff here. What is going on? Yeah. And I was like, you live here. That's amazing. Because think about it. When you're a professional wrestler, you're just getting flown anywhere.
I mean,
every job.
Yeah, him even describing what his upcoming weeks were like, and those were slow weeks. I was like, are you kidding me? That
Japan, Mexico, here.
Hawaii, Japan, Mexico, everywhere. I was like, oh my God, okay.
But so home base could be anything, because who cares? It's like it just changes the flight a little bit. So we meant to get together, but he was always working. And so this past time when I was in North Carolina, he was there and he invited Chip and I over to like hang out at his house. And it was one of those nights, I probably talked about it on here, but like we drank a bunch of tequila. We hung out, and by the end of the night, we were like in his basement trying on his champion belts.
Yeah.
Like I haven't posted the picture because I am glossy-eyed and wearing like unflattering leggings, but I'm just like holding belts over my shoulder in a basement,
like a raccoon that the floodlight just turned on in front of.
Yeah, totally that, because like they just had moved into the house, so like. And the basement was unfinished, and I just like look like a freak fan who snuck down there and was like, I'm gonna hold the belt, snap a pic. Maybe I'll put one on Patreon. But we had the best time. And so he was coming out to LA because his daughter, who's so cool and sweet, they were coming out to like see a concert or something. And I was like, I'm gonna have you guys over.
Yeah.
And mainly I was like, do you want to go out to dinner? We'll come to you. And he was like, no, my daughter wants to see Beans again. I was like, okay, y'all come over. And I was just like, well, fuck it. Let's make a night of it. And we got the Teppanyaki hibachi caterers and backyard Benihana.
Oh my God.
Like we're goddamn, what's his name? Who has it in his backyard on MTV Cribs?
Oh, I forget.
From Fast and Furious.
Vin Diesel?
What I'm talking about? No. Oh man, Fast and Furious.
You're asking the wrong Fast and Furious aficionado.
He's one of the old. Oh, he was a model. I'm looking it up. Okay. But anyway, on Cribs, he had a Benihana, like a tiny Benihana built in his backyard.
That's so great.
I know. And so anyway, it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. And I was sipping weed cocktails. And at one point, I just started laughing so hard to myself because I looked up. I was laughing. I was laughing. Yeah, literally. Because I looked up and I was like, we're just sitting in this backyard. Yeah. And they're making Benihana. This guy's making a Hart out of fried rice, and I'm sitting across from a professional wrestler right now. What? And we're all like, this is normal and fine.
See, I look around this table and I go, there's Grace and Elliott, there's Katie and James, there's professional wrestlers. Okay, he's throwing shrimp in a mouth, and Chip is pouring out tequila shots, and there's like two hairless dogs
in turtlenecks.
In turtlenecks, and I'm just like, this is heaven.
I was like, this is Christmas. This is how the holidays should be spent. This is truly the most Mad Lib sentence of an experience right now.
So good. The amount of DMs I got the next day that was like, wait, you can do this? Who is this people who can do it? And I was like, you know, when you find something and you're like, I want everyone to know how cool this was, but also like, I did the research.
I want to keep it a secret.
I forged the relationship with this catering company that doesn't normally even come to LA. And you're like, damn, it's like I found the band and I'm like, I want them to sell records, but like I want to have them to myself.
I know. Dex is even like, that's not his real name, was just like, how do I start this in North Carolina?
Truly, I was like, should we invest? Should we start our own like teppanyaki hibachi fleet in North Carolina?
I feel like
the overhead wouldn't be a lot.
You know how pizza ovens are like the huge ticket now, and like tabletop pizza ovens are like on every like Christmas gift guide this year? I feel like the hibachi tables might start taking off for people.
They might. I mean, we have one when we go camping called a Blackstone. That's like a full flat top. And like we have some of friends from Bar Rescue, like they'll have hibachi night and like fuck around and like try to imitate it and whatever. And so when our friends Katie and James came over from Bar Rescue, they were like, when you said hibachi, I thought you meant a camping grill that we kind of pretend. I didn't realize we were walking into a restaurant.
Yeah. And the guy there is doing the full routine. And then he finishes. He's like, we're going to go get some hot chicken while you guys eat. We'll be back and clean this up.
He was like, take your time. Let me know when you're out of the backyard and we'll clean it. They just roll it in, set it up, roll it out. Loved it. No dishes. No dishes for me.
No dishes, no notes.
No, we had a Patreon live stream the next day, and you had already so generously been like, hey, if we need to do it at my house because, you know, you're going to be cleaning up a party. And I was like, I'm not. They didn't even come in the house. I don't have one dirty fork.
Crazy. Blew my mind.
Anyway, so that was a great time.
It was.
I loved it.
So fun. And just a nice little holiday moment.
Honestly, like, you know me, I don't get the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
And I get the Halloween spirit. I get other spirits. Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. You're out of spirits by this time of the year. You've used them all up.
I've drank them all. And so it was nice to be like, oh, this feels cozy. Like, am I getting holiday-y this year.
Yeah.
Comfy, cozy, 2 little pups. But anyway, the weekend continued. I had quite the weekend, and then flying out here Monday morning.
I know you've been doing a lot. You did a thing on Sunday. What'd you do?
On Sunday. Basically, my Melissa friend, who you know, been my besties, one of my besties since college. We were both like, man, let's go get some drinks and really talk about next year, like resolutions.
See,
I was like, I'm turning 40. She was like, let's go plan our midlife crises.
I mean, that's great. I do feel like that should be planned and thought through. Don't let life happen to you. You happen at life. Something like that.
Grace!
I watched Michael Buckley's Instagram story.
Dropping knowledge. No, and it's true. It was kind of like, oh, well, this should be the tradition. You should sit down with a friend you trust and be like, I'm going to bounce this off of you, instead of just being like, these are my resolutions. Let me keep them to myself.
Yeah. Accountability.
So Melissa was like, well, let's dress up, not like costume 80s, like legit period piece 80s, and go to the Beverly Hills Hotel and drink Bellinis and be like, women who lunch from 1989.
You got to get in the mood, to talk about the midlife crisis.
It was the meeting of the minds. So I was like, absolutely, I love it. So we had like a reservation for a 1:30 brunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel, which I realized I'd never been to.
Isn't that just lunch at that point?
Well, no, it was on a Sunday.
Oh, okay.
It was on a Sunday.
Lunch doesn't exist on a Sunday. It's just brunch and dinner.
Yeah, exactly. I consider if there are eggs on the menu,
yes,
that's
I'm
a brunch option. I don't say it ends afternoon,
Yeah.
A dinner or whatever. So anyway, I'm like, okay, that's perfect. And we're planning our outfits, and she is a costume designer.
Yeah.
So she has just like the most amazing, she calls it like her kit, I guess, just amazing archives of stuff she saves. So when she gets hired, she can be like, oh, I have shitloads of stuff from this specific moment in 1987. She's like what is it called? Like, not an archaeologist, archivist.
Archivist. Yeah. So she's got a full museum of stuff.
Totally. And so I'm like, she's like, why don't you meet me at my storage unit? Because it's like halfway there, and then I'll drive us. So that because we live on opposite sides of the town. And I was like, sure, no problem. So I realized she had dropped off a dress for me and sunglasses. I still needed like earrings and a purse and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So I'm like done up, like French twist, full like 80s Shelley Long, like Troop Beverly Hills style.
Yeah. Also, a little bit from the Instagram story looked a little bit like Jennifer Coolidge in White Lotus.
I will take it. Yes, the dress she dies in. Sorry. Spoiler.
It's over at this point.
I only finished it on Saturday.
I know. I've been keeping it from you. But the internet, people have access to the internet. She wears the scarf over her head and does the whole,
Like Melissa's goal was, let's look like 2 women trying to catch our husband cheating at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Love it. So you're kind of in disguise, but there to enjoy yourself.
We're already planning a second one where we wear fake bandages, like we got our noses done.
Yes, great.
And with binoculars.
Wait, those are opera glasses, or are those
binoculars? Binoculars, yeah. I'll do opera glasses. She'll do binoculars.
Perfect.
But it was so great. So I'm like really done up. But for me, I was going and I didn't want to bring a purse to then switch into another purse. So I was like, I'll bring my belongings in a grocery bag so that I can then throw it away. My wallet, some lipstick, phone charger, etc. So anyway, I call the Uber and I'm on the way there. Yeah. And I realize I'm like, this looks so sketchy. I am in an Uber with a shopping bag of belongings, dressed up, headed to a storage unit. Yeah. In like Crenshaw. Like,
you're dressed like someone who's in the witness protection program. Yeah. And you're bringing what looks like someone else's belongings.
Yes. I was like, I look like a grifter who just like stole a dead man's wallet. Yeah. But I didn't even realize this till I'm on the way there, and I'm on a phone call with my friend, with our friend Claire. Yeah. And we're talking about like an old book that like, or old movie that like is ripe for like a modern adaptation. Okay. And I'm there and she's explaining the plot to me because I was supposed to watch it in advance and I was like, I didn't finish it. And so I'm there, this poor Uber driver, I'm going, oh, so he did murder her. He did? She was pregnant? Oh, okay. Well, how do we spin it to where like he didn't really murder her? Like I look like this high-end attorney hiding evidence in my storage unit of evidence.
You're with your sophisticated French twist talking about how to twist the narrative of a murder.
Yes. Oh my God. Wait, that would be a great name for
French
like
twist?
a murder mystery in Paris.
Yeah. French twist.
French twist.
It sounds a little bit like an Olsen's movie where they go and solve some crime overseas while they're on like college break or something.
It's not my fault they named those movies perfectly. They were always perfect. It Takes Two. I mean, all of them they were great.
They were fantastic.
You don't ride an elevator for the music, right? Or pick an airline for the movies. So when it comes to audio entertainment, it makes sense to choose Audible. It's home for stories told by the biggest stars like Ethan Hawke, Kerry Washington, and, no relation to me, Kevin Hart. It's home to epic adventures, chilling mysteries, and can't miss comedies. Audible is the home of storytelling. So let your imagination soar with audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. I absolutely love Audible. I have been a member forever, way before we were even reading commercials for them, okay? I get my credits, I listen to it in the car on a long walk, I bounce back and forth between the audiobook and the regular print version for our book club, Barflies. Audible is the home of storytelling with all your audio entertainment in one app. You can find the best of what you love, or you can find something new. Their selection of audiobooks includes every genre. They've got bestsellers, new releases, celeb memoirs, juicy gossip, mystery thrillers, motivation, wellness, business, and more. You guys, 'tis the season to read a motivational book. And as an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep in your entire catalog, including the latest and new releases. Members also get full access to their growing selection of audiobooks, Audible originals, only found there, and podcasts. You can download or stream our included titles all you want, y'all. This is also a really great thing with flights coming up. I have flown some planes recently where their movies and such, their in-flight entertainment did not work. Pop in those little headphones and I listen to a book the whole dang way. Now, if you want to listen to one of your favorite podcasts, when you're not listening to this podcast right here, you can go to audible.com and listen to one of my favorite podcasts, Best Friends. That's Nicole Byer and Sashir Zamata, who are friends of mine, but better yet, they're best friends who know each other, and they will make you crack up. I'm also going back and I'm checking out books that I love. One of them I love is Work Party by Jacqueline Johnson. It is an incredible book all about business and entrepreneurship and overcoming obstacles when you're trying to start your own thing and hustle, etc. And yes, I am promoting my friends, okay? That's what people do. It's the holidays. Let Audible help you discover new ways to laugh, be inspired, or be entertained. New members can try it for free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/TMGW, or you can text TMGW to 500-500. That's audible.com/TMGW, or text TMGW to 500-500 to try Audible free for 30 days. Audible.com/TMGW. So anyway, I get to the storage unit. She opens it. It's like the heavens have parted. It's like every shoebox has a Polaroid of the shoe and the size taped to it. Like the organization skills, it was goals.
Amazing.
So we get all dressed up. We go to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
We're tucked into a little corner, and it's like iconic. It's like pink and cabanas, and it was so weird though because like the waitresses, you could tell they were all in high school and like probably incredibly rich.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were wearing like little like hunter green sweaters with Beverly Hills Hotel embroidered, little short white tennis skirts, and like Hooters tights.
Whoa. Oh.
Yeah. It felt very 90210, but being like, are you guys like iconic because you got the job at the Beverly Hills Hotel? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in my small town, the fact that like me and my 3 girlfriends worked at the movie theater was like, we were the elite.
But what a strange outfit for the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Well, it was like right by the tennis courts and,
I was going to say,
the cabanas. So anyway, we're having a good time. She's in her headscarf. I'm in my sunglasses, and we have our periods. We're doing it. And there's like a table beside us of boys that are like, oh, is this what rich kids do now? No offense to Gen Z rich kids. But I was like, they were trying to look not rich. And I'm like, you're a teenage group of teenage boys having lunch at the Beverly Hills Hotel Cabana bar.
What? Yeah,
like one of them, like, you know, they were like, all
TikTokers,
cool.
probably TikTokers.
TikToks, yes.
Yeah.
To the point where I was just like, they're trying to be so cool, but like at the end of the day, they're like 17-year-old awkward.
Yeah.
This one guy joins them later, and he's wearing like a leather trench or something, but he's got not even like a full trench. It was just like, it was not like a cool
big
leather jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got on a t-shirt, and I hear one of their voices crack, and he's like, "Cool t-shirt," and it's a shirt that instead of hot yoga, it says not yoga, and it's just like stick figures in different fucking positions.
See,
and he's like, "Thanks, man." And then one of them laughs like the Revenge of the Nerds guy. It was,
and then everyone else thinks that you're just the moms of these kids sitting directly next to them, letting them have their lunch while you.
I was
guys...
like, Militia, shut up about our goals. I want to like hear about these kids. You know, one of them, like a woman walks up with her family and is like, "Are you blah blah blah's little brother?" And you could tell he was like,
oh, okay.
He was cosplaying being an adult who was like staying at the hotel. It was a great time. And then the only other thing that happened besides us, you know, getting day drunk and talking about how we need to go to the ballet.
Tonight we're actually going to the orchestra to see they're doing Home Alone.
Stop!
Yeah, I'm so excited. So that's our little droplet of sophistication tonight.
Wait, are you going to like the Walt Disney Hall? Like, are you going to the
orchestra?
To the what is it called? The
LA,
music?
Whatever it is. I
Philharmonic.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm really
awesome.
I know we're gonna get dressed up. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be festive.
I'm so excited to hear all about it.
I know. I'm really excited. It should be fun. Or it's gonna be we get there and half hour into it, I'm gonna be like, okay, did it. I was like, how long is this gonna go?
Are they playing the movie with it, or you're just listening to the soundtrack?
Just the soundtrack.
Okay.
This was like, I follow that LA bucket list like Instagram account or whatever. It's really great for just giving you ideas of shit to do. So I booked this like a while ago, and I was like, oh shit, we're going when we're getting ready to leave.
I think that's amazing, because one of the things we talked about at our What Shall We Do in the next year thing was like, I want to figure out more things to do that literally don't involve a screen. Because I said, I was like talking about this tweet I saw that was so depressing to me, that was like, well, if I do good on my medium screen and don't look that much on my tiny screen, I get to look at my big screen tonight. And I was like, oh my God, that's so depressing.
The other day, I was like having a little bit of a headache at like 4:00, and I was telling Elliot about it, and I was like, I think I've just been looking at screens like too long today. And then we're like, so what do we want to watch on TV? I was like, I can't escape like looking at, just devices and the screens. So we'll see the long-term effects, how that all pans out for all of us.
But I love that you're going, and it's not like, because I've been to like LA Philharmonic stuff at the Hollywood Bowl where you also are watching the movie. They're just doing the score. Yeah. But like, I mean, we were like, let's go see plays and let's go do this and let's like walk around gardens. I mean, I sound 97 years old, but even just so much of like the last year. Yeah. Okay, now I'm getting introspective. Like the last couple years.
This is our last episode of this year.
That's
Reminder.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just in the last couple years, because I'm so cozy, you know, we're all like pandemic cozy, and like, I get it when like Chip's home, I want to like nest and like make dinner and do all that stuff. But outside of that, I feel like I did a lot of that, just continuing to do it when I'm like, I actually, especially when I went to North Carolina for a couple months, I was like, oh, I actually have a really like inspiring, great group of friends in LA of like different gamuts. That's not like I have one big friend group. And I was like, why am I not just like sitting and getting coffee and talking? Yeah. Sitting and drink and having a meal. Like I didn't do a lot of in-person FaceTime.
Right. Yeah. No, I get you. I want to go
that
to
doesn't
more,
involve a screen.
Yeah. I also just like this. And like we've been going to Descano Gardens and trying to see that stuff. I really want to see more like art exhibits and art shows and stuff.
We've got a list.
I know.
Melissa and I made a list.
You did? Oh, please.
We made a list of
CC me on this list.
Join us. Oh yeah, we were like ballets. We were like this exhibit at the Hammer Museum in February. This and that. Like yes,
that's I was gonna. that reminded me that I wanted to look up shit like that.
I wanted to get on the screen
year.
to find what to not look at the screen while doing.
No, exactly. It's so hard to not have anything that doesn't involve a screen. Even when you go to concerts, you're like watching someone on the screen the whole time, depending on where you're sitting.
Instead of the person.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's so true.
But that's a good goal for next year. I just want to see art outside of my wheelhouse. I like watching people do things that I just cannot do at all. And so
totally. And
that,
look, I know
really
some
inspiring.
stuff is cringe, and you and I, we as performers and just anxious people in general, we get a little nervous to see like live performances and things like that. But really, I was like, I have a theater degree.
Yeah.
I can sit down and watch 5 hours of TV tonight, but I won't like make the time to just leave the house and go see an hour and a half play. That might like really get my wheels turning.
I know. And as people that have performed live this year, we're asking people to come see us, but we won't go see other people. It's a bit backwards, but
it's backwards. So, and I want to go dancing and, just like, woo, woo. Well, I'm feeling inspired.
That's I know. Well, I was like, oh, it's the last episode that we're recording this year. What do we have on our to-do list that we said we want to do next year? We've had the bench sign that we've been wanting to make.
We've been wanting to do this. Well, we wanted to get a bench. We want a parade
float.
Float and a parade.
And the only other thing I could remember, because I have such terrible memory, is to host a BravoCon panel.
I mean, I feel like we put that on our vision board, easy breezy.
Yeah, but I also feel like more events like Ugliest Dog Contest.
Thank you. I got to circle back with them.
Yeah, would be. Yeah, we got to circle back about taking over that franchise.
Yeah, it felt premature right after, but now that we're in the year of the next one is when we have to take over. But I guess overall being more silly.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, some people listening to this are like, are you fucking sure, Mamrie? Like, your life is very silly.
You just went to the Beverly Hills Hotel dressed up as
an undercover wife.
A widow looking for her new boyfriend's mistress.
Totally. But things like that, where I was like, me and Melissa were looking at each other, and we've done dumb shit together since the dawn of our friendship. We had the Topless Tuesday Club in college and things like that. And we were just like, oh, more of this. Like, let's do silly girl stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I can be cozy and I can go get romantic with my boyfriend, but let's do some silly girl stuff.
There you go. We go.
One last thing about that day at Beverly Hills Hotel. So we left the lunch and we were like, oh, the Polo Lounge, which is their like iconic restaurant, was booked up. They were like, we're booked till like January 5th. And we were like, oh, right, Christmas season. Like this must be like families go and exchange gifts and do their thing. So we went at a weird time. We went at like 3:30 and we're like, can we just sit and have a cocktail at the bar? And they're like, yeah, you can have one of these little tables are up for grabs. So we're sitting there and in walks, after we've gotten our drink, like a big dude and like a very petite, very like put together little lady, right?
Okay.
And like, like 9-inch heels and she still like comes up to my tit,
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Done it. Hair straight, jet black straight hair, whatever.
Everything's taut.
Yeah, everything is like, I'm like, if I give you the tiniest massage, will your body change shape?
Right. It's like everything has been perfectly placed, which that makes me so nervous. I'm like, you're a walking Jenga tower that like something is going to shift and the rest of it's going to tumble down.
Yes. What's going to happen? So we're sitting there and like, they're doing their thing. She's having like hot tea and they're just like doing dessert and whatever. Wow. And Melissa looks at me and she goes, I think that's the girl who plays Wednesday Addams.
Oh.
And Wednesday is the big thing. And I was like, that's
Ortega.
not Jenny Ortega. I was like, Melissa. And like she works on huge shows and she's like very in the know. Yeah. She's the kind of person where you can be like, this random TV show, she'll be like, this is the producer, this is the line producer, this is the second AD. Like she's very well versed. And I was like, are you fucking high? And she's like, that's irrelevant. But I was like, oh, no more drinks for you. That is not Wednesday Addams. She's on like the biggest TV show right now. Like people would be coming up to her. She'd actually get a table,
right?
Whatever. And then Melissa goes like, no, you dumb fuck. I was like, what? She goes, when I costume designed the Addams Family porn, when I first moved to LA. I think that's the girl who played Wednesday. And we like cross-referenced it, and it was. And I was just like, oh, right. I forgot when you first moved to LA, it's like a rite of passage for costume designers to just like design porns.
Wow, which seems
but like fun porns.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a bit counterintuitive because the clothing won't be featured for that long.
Well, I remember Melissa telling me back in the day, she was like, oh, I just finished a project that was so hard. I was like, why? I mean, no pun intended. And she was like, oh, I was doing a porn of American Dad and had to figure out how the alien guy could get his dick out.
These are legitimate logistical questions.
So I just thought it was so funny. I was like, of course, we're like, ooh, we're in the height of Beverly Hills. Who did we see? We think a porn star, maybe. Maybe.
And she's still looking great. She's putting in the effort. Good for her.
Tightly wound for getting pounded so much.
I mean, look, there's all different kinds of art out there, like you're
really
saying.
Is. There really is. So overall.
Wow, quite a week leading up to the birthday of the Lord.
Truly. I'm like, oh, right. All of this took place in the last 4 days.
Yeah, you deserve to come back to Los Angeles and snuggle with Larry and chill. Wait, so is Beans and Larry are just with Chip?
No, Beans went and did an overnight with Mary because
gotcha.
Mary needed it.
Yes, of course.
And what happened?
Yeah.
And so I think I said it on the podcast that I told Mary I got another dog and I was very nervous and all that jazz. But so I was like, hey, because I had an early flight, I was like, Chip, will you go bring Beans to Mary?
Yeah.
And I was like, and if you want to bring Larry, you can, right?
Oh, okay.
First meeting, which I should have been there, But I was like, Mary's dying, So Chip brought them. They're both in like the front seat carrier.
Yeah.
I'm getting pics. So cute.
Oh.
But then I'm about to take off or land. I forget. I like had anxiety.
Yeah.
And the anxiety, as I call it.
The anxiety.
The anxiety. And Chip's like, well, Larry growled at Mary. It ended suddenly. I don't know how it went. And I was like, no. And I was like, he's literally growled like for 3 seconds ever. You know what I mean?
Wow. Larry growled at Mary.
Larry growled at Mary. But so I was like, oh no, was it? And it was like, no, he was sweet at first. But then I think like Mary took Beans and Larry did like a little growl and whatever. And I was like, oh no.
Was he worried about Beans? Maybe he was nervous that Beans was being taken away from him.
Maybe. So I texted with Mary, and she texted me yesterday. She goes, Larry met me, and it was hate at first sight. I expected it. It was the same with Beans. She loathed me for a while, then loved me. He'll come around. And I was like, oh, my God, Chip told me. I was so nervous. Like, I swear he's so sweet. There's pics. And he was like, no doubt he is. He can't be rushed. It takes time.
See, Mary's got a great attitude about it. That's great. She knows. She'll win that little guy over for sure.
Totally. But so I'm like, okay, it's healing. Everyone's
you gotta get uncomfortable before you get comfortable.
Well, that's what we're gonna do next year, Grace.
There we go. I'm all in. I guess, guys, thank you for another year of listening to This Might Get Weird. We are, like we said last week, taking next week off. And then we'll be back the first week of January.
Yeah. So we hope you have fantastic holidays. We're so excited you've stuck around. If we had any type of person working for us, this is where we'd cut to a super cut of all the crazy shit we did this year, but we just don't have the time.
We don't have the time. Or the resources. So we keep it lo-fi and we let it live in your brains and hearts.
Exactly. I know my dad brought up something from the podcast last night and I was like, Dad, as soon as we stop recording, Grace and I have no idea what we just said.
Literally none. Only occasionally do I get a text to my little brother, Tim. Shout out Tim, who, God bless him, listens what it seems like on a weekly basis. I'll get texts Wednesday morning letting me know of certain things that might be wrong and or missourced.
Same with Chip. We have our two, excuse me, actually, that arachnid is...
you guys posted the wrong audio. Oh, yep. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. But no, thank you guys for listening so much.
Yes.
It's another blast. I'm excited to have more adventures next year to for us to regale you with.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, man. And really, I would say 2022, this got weird.
Mm-hmm.